For right now, like you said, I think Shed should get a little bit more playing time. Mitchell's not looking bad out there. I just like I said, I want to see that backcourt be a little more aggressive though. Like when they got that three, that they got to hit that. You know, everybody's in the league. You could make 10 threes in a row. Now, when you're on the court, prove it.
What is going on, Toronto Raptor fans? Here we are back for week number two of the Raptors in black and white, week number one of the Toronto Raptors 2024-2025 30th season. And we sort of knew with this young squad that it was going to be an up and down sort of week, but I don't know if I was expecting such peaks and valleys. I mean, we got out of the gate Scotty Barnes, Jakob Poeltl even a little weak, I think, in that first game. I'm not as worried about the big guy because they are, tend to be a little bit more into the flow after a few games. So I'm hoping he's going to get it. But then Scotty Barnes comes back week or second game and lights it up. And then yesterday, sort of in between. So what are your thoughts on the first three games of the Raptors season?
Sitting at 33%, I think the Raptors need to pick it up. They're showing a lot of inconsistency already, but there's still hope there. You know, it's a young team, like we said, and there's still growth. But they gotta move the ball more. You know what I mean, and share the sugar. I see them playing more one-on-one ball at times, but I think guys need to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah, I agree. Especially that first game, Scotty was like getting frustrated and then started doing the one-on-one, and I was like, "No, it's Pascal Siakam again," 2 years ago, and let's stop that. And I think turnovers, I agree. It's not as bad as it could be because it seems like turnovers, fumbling the ball, those sort of little things, missed passes where I don't know what they were throwing it out of bounds a couple of times yesterday early in the game where I was just watching on like what are you doing? Oh my God. I don't know if
And that's what I'm saying. We go from playing the 76ers and looking poised, looking dominant, and then we go against the Timberwolves in their house on the road, and then hey, I know, hey, one day flying out, exhaustion will play a key into the game, and they did play significantly straight down to the fourth quarter, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I did hear too they got in at like 3 in the morning or something crazy late for that game in Minnesota, but and still kept it kind of close. I thought it was going to be a horrible blowout, and at least they were still sort of within 8-10, I think, with 3 minutes left.
With 3 minutes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but then Anthony Edwards just decided, no, 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 we're going to take this game.
Yeah, he's like, listen, no, you know what? We're not even gonna make you even smell it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You thought you were getting close when Grady Dick dove on that and got that turnover or whatever. It was like, well, you know what? A few baskets in a row, we could maybe get within a couple, but then yeah, they just stepped on our
Yeah,
throat.
yeah. They,
So what did you think of the starting lineup so far? I mean, it's kind of obviously we need, quickly back. RJ back quickly came in for a minute and fell on his butt. So he's out again for a little bit, but it seems like that's the other positive is that, Akbachi hasn't been bad inserted into the starting lineup, I think. Uh,
yeah, Abachi's been holding his own. I
yeah,
see him being aggressive and going to the rim. A lot of how can I say it? Uh, like I said with him, he should be construct. He has speed, so I think he should be dishing them more assist, where he's taking the ball more. But I know we're looking for somebody to score, so I guess you got to do to do right. So
yeah, I've been happy to see him finishing at the rim. He's supposedly was more of a 3-and-D guy, but yet he seems to be cutting and getting some decent baskets that way. Or even he's following up the play. He's gotten a lot of little putbacks, like
a little bit, yeah,
yeah, like
exactly.
Grady Dick. I don't. The one thing I love Grady Dick's shot. And I know he's just a young kid, at 20 or whatever. But man, he seems to not finish around the rim as often as I think he should. Like for somebody, he did that one play in the game against Philly where he came from the like, he
Yeah,
was in
from the
the corner
baseline and did
for
that
three, and then yeah, went
twirly.
baseline and did like a freaking almost Jordan F with his little
Yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
around him and to dump it in. That was exciting. But then there's other ones where yeah, he's got almost a breakaway and it's bobbling around. And Agbaji has been there a couple times even to put a little putback. So
A
I'm glad that
little putback.
he's
Yeah.
following up with the play, but I'm a little upset that Dick can't seem to finish all the time around the rim.
And his shot selection, once again, I know against the game against 76ers, hey, we're looking dominant. Hey, he got hot. You know what I mean? It was looking great. And then the next game, you want to get hot, but it's shot selection. Like he was jacking up some shots that didn't need to be jacked. I'm like, you have better shots to get you. Because confidence, right? If you could step in and take a 2-pointer and get that, I think you'll be more confident to shoot that three the next time. You know what I mean? With more confidence. But uh, who am I in the league of 2024, 2025?
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, and it's funny because I wonder if he just has a green light all the time because he had a decent amount of points,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
his 3-pointer is turning into what they're saying it was going to be. I mean, he was 44% from three, pretty good. Akbaji even,
yeah.
I'm sitting here saying that he's supposed to be a 3 and D guy. He was 60% from three yesterday, so maybe he needs to take more. But yeah, the positive that I think is that Akbaji and even Davian Mitchell have been okay. Davian Mitchell, his offense is so up and down. He hit a couple threes nicely in that Philly game yesterday. I see he was 0 for 5. Uh, but I hope that when Quickly is in that role and we've got RJ in instead of Akbaji, it'll be good to have those guys come off the bench, even though I'm not sure Jamal Shed shouldn't possibly take Davian Mitchell's spot.
Right? Because
What do you think?
he's been putting in some work. Once again, another guy versus the winner of us. I believe he got about 12 minutes of play, and he was very productive. I did like how Shed was moving. He was on all cylinders, and well, once again, the whole team was clicking that day. But then going to Minnesota, like I said, I just hate when we go against marquee teams and we look timid. That's what I don't like. You know what I mean? We should hold and I won't lie, like you said, the point spread at the end of the game wasn't that bad to show that hey we were there, but I think with a little more, we could have been right there. You know what I mean? And that's the punch that I'm waiting for the Raptors to get.
Yeah, I think the score helped the Raptors look a little better than they were because not at no point did I feel like we could win the game. Sorry, like maybe in the opening few minutes, but midway through the first quarter in yesterday's game, I felt like, oh God, this is going to be like a mega blowout. Luckily, they made it a little bit close because they started not quite hitting every shot. Uh, in the third quarter or
In the
whatever.
third quarter, yeah, that's
Yeah, but
right.
I mean, yeah, because Connolly started out the game where he was going crazy, and then luckily he cooled off a little bit. But
And then he
yeah,
cooled. Yeah,
Randall, I thought looked decent in that jersey, and obviously Anthony Edwards with his 24. Yeah, Randall had 24 as well. So bench guys, though, I've been pleasantly surprised. During the preseason, I actually thought Battle was maybe going to possibly take a spot. His 3-point shooting was great. Even in the first two games, it was great. Yesterday, not as good. He was only
that was
one
good. Yeah,
4 from three. Um, and Mr. Boucher is another one that I wish he could just get it together. I'm hoping that he will. And I fantasize that with RJ coming back, quickly coming back, and then Boucher starting to hit a bit more threes like he did in the preseason. Yesterday he was 0 for 4 from deep, uh, and I don't know. I think there is some potential upside, but they better come back sort of sooner than later so we don't get into this.
sooner than later. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, if we could get those two main factors, what you said, we would definitely look like a different Raptors. Because like I said, without those guys, we're right there with contenders. So if we had our main pieces, you know what I mean? Is that what we need to get over the hill? You know what I mean? So let's see how's it like you said moving forward. But for right now, like you said, I think Shed should get a little bit more playing time. Mitchell's not looking bad out there. I just like I said, I want to see that backcourt be a little more aggressive though. Like when they got that three, that they got to hit that. You know, everybody's in the league. You could make 10 threes in a row. Now, when you're on the court, prove it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'd like to see Davian step up with his offense. His defense has been pretty good. I mean, and he had 8 assists, but to go 0 for 5, not as helpful as
That is helpful,
he
right?
got shed out there. I mean, he was only 2 of 4 with 5 assists, but 18 minutes versus 28. He's still producing more offense in 2/3 of the time. So yeah, and then the other one is Mogbo. I didn't know what to think of Mogbo. I was actually a little disappointed in the preseason. But that Philly game, I mean, the whole team looked good. Philly is a bad team. I mean, clearly, I still am not a Joel Embiid believer or a Paul George believer. But without those two, yikes. Anyway, they made all of our Raptor players look like superstars. But I sort of started to get it with Mogbo in that game. Like, oh wow, okay, I can see that this guy could sort of take over. He had a bunch of rebounds, like 9 or something. I think they gave him credit for 10, and then they took one away,
And then they took one away. That's right.
yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. But and 12 points or something. But then yesterday he comes up 1 for 3 and 3 rebounds. So I don't know. Is he going to be that inconsistent up and down guy? What do you think of Mogbo uh, so far?
Yeah, I think he's in holding his own, like you said. But back to what you were saying, the inconsistency across the board with our players right now. You know, what I mean, we need to see some consistency right now. And back to what I'm saying, our backcourt, those are the guys that should be setting up our big boys, and they gotta get those guys the ball. And those guys, when they get the ball, they gotta finish. You know what I mean? And I know we're playing guys like yesterday, Minnesota, very big team. You know what I mean? They're huge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm glad that they held their own, but what our back to what we were even saying earlier, we need to see a healthy Barrett, and if quickly comes back, like I said, I think we'll be firing on all cylinders then.
And even actually, it's funny just talking about the big man. You triggered that Olynyk probably coming back too. Is I don't want to bash Fernando, but he doesn't look like he's out there for offense. I mean, again, he was 2 for 4, but his shots are really high percentage shots. He's taking around the basket, 3 rebounds.
What do you think about our free throws too? Like sometimes some guys I'm looking at and we're missing. I'm like, that's why it's called free throw. How are you missing those? Like, and those are free points. Like, we gotta tighten up some areas, man.
Yeah, well, Agbaji, missed his. Boucher missed his. That's like Boucher. I so, I love Boucher. I mean, because
Me
I'm
too. I
obviously
know, me too.
Canadian. I have a soft spot for the Canadian guys that play on this team, and he's had so many opportunities to just get it together.
Shine. I know.
It's either like he comes in and goes crazy energy, but he's missing free throws, or his three is off, and then sometimes he comes in and he goes nuts and gets 4 threes in a row in the fourth quarter, and you're like, where is that guy? Why doesn't that guy show up all the time?
Every night.
Yeah.
Once again, that Raptor inconsistency that we're talking about. Could we get a general that could get guys fired up and going? You know what I mean? Is there something glooming on them when they're on the road? But it's early, and they better get in shape because they can't do this for another 2 3 weeks, as you know.
No, I agree because yeah, Darko is he's going deep, so I think we need to get some of the guys to step up and be more consistent because if you're going to go that deep into your bench, the guy's got to contribute or he's got to have a quicker hook. I mean, it seems like he wants to give them some runway to learn and develop.
Yeah,
Obviously, their feeling is that they don't think they're going to win the whole thing this year. So, but I'd like to see a little more push to win each game because I
each
hate to
game.
just
Yeah.
get them into a rut where they think that not winning is acceptable. Um, okay, so then you were saying that you're going to the game tomorrow against Denver.
I am
Uh,
gonna be there. That's correct. Yep.
nice, exciting. So what are you looking for in that game? Denver is 0-2 so far on the season. Um,
And you know me, I'm always optimistic. I want to see them 0-3 versus us. We have them in our house.
Right,
They seem a little down. I don't want them to start gallying up on us in our own house. Yes, Jamal Murray will be home. Hopefully, something there doesn't trigger for him and triggers for us. You know what I mean? I,
right.
I wish we could get a guy like that on our team, though, man. Another Canadian that just to help RJ. But anyways, I don't even go off on that. But definitely, I want to see Denver winless, and I think we could pull that off in our home. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I hope they can. Again, it depends on which Jekyll and Hyde situation shows up for the game. If the Philly team shows up and Scotty Barnes is confident and hitting, I think they could beat almost anyone. It's funny, but I mean, obviously, every NBA team has a chance to beat any NBA team on any given night.
Right?
Um, but yeah, I do agree. I'm hoping that Jamal Murray, got stuck at some high school reunion or some sort of party in Kitchener with his old buddies, and he's staying up late tonight, and a little bit hungover tomorrow.
That's right.
Yeah, that would be nice to see. But
That
I
would be
also
nice to
agree on
see.
the. My fantasy is that Shea Gilgeous-Alexander wins a couple titles in OKC and then says, "Yeah, okay, it's time for me to head back home to Toronto and help the Raptors get a title," as the timeline of Barnes and Quickly and RJ sort of matures with Dick in there as well.
And Dick in there as well.
Maybe
Yeah,
we grab Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and he moves in, and I don't know. I guess they would have to relegate who would go to the bench. RJ, is Shea sort of a power forward, or is he shooting guard? Maybe Dick
he's
would have to
shooting
move
guard.
off
He'll
the
be
bench.
shooting guard.
That would be a ridiculous lineup. Imagine whoever at center, like maybe we get Kaminga, or there's a bunch of rumors out there. I don't know if Pirtle's going to be the guy ultimately that stays with this group, but that would be ridiculous if we had Scotty Barnes, RJ Barrett, Manuel Quickly, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and Mobley or
Oh,
Kaminga, or who knows who we go get.
who knows, right? Yeah, 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 yeah. Could
That'd be sick.
and as you know, the Raptors always needs that one stud. That's what we need. Just like when we had our champion there, right?
Yeah, Kawhi
Why? Yeah,
getting into some weird non or no, what was it? Tampering. Anyway, I just watched a video yesterday about some tampering charges that are coming for him. Maybe we'll talk about that in a future video.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
all right, great. Well, hey, so obviously, yeah, enjoy the game tomorrow. Good luck to the
Will
Raptors.
do.
Hopefully, they don't start, a 10-game winning streak for the Nuggets on our backs. It's always sad for some reason. We let Detroit off the hook on their losing streak. I don't know why the Raptors get involved in those things. Even they were talking about the 99 free throws the other day in that game, which was tied the record or something, or was close to setting the record anyway for free throws. And then they were saying the Raptors have been in two of the top five games all
Games.
time NBA with free throws. And it's like, oh, do you think the refs have a lighter whistle, or like they're quicker to blow the whistle against the Raptors? Because I've always felt that we don't get the right end of the
We
stick.
don't get the right end of the call. Listen, I call it out every time, being and I bring it up every time, being that we're the only franchise that's not inside American soil.
Mhm.
I feel we get the the black sheep.
Yeah, no, I obviously, yes, there could just be the thing that you notice it every time because it's happening to you, but it doesn't seem right. Over the years, I really, anyway, feel like we need some. That's what we need, actually. We need less Canadian players. We need more Canadian refs. That would be
Right? No, yeah, there
a
we
good thing
go.
to
We'll
develop.
we'll take
Yeah.
some of that too. That's
Yeah,
right.
that'll help the Raptors. Make sure they're always calling the Raptor games. But anyway, all right. Well, I guess so. We're out. Listen, if you are watched this far, thank you. Obviously, please like, subscribe, comment on the videos too. We'll look at them. We'll get
Give
back
us
to
a little feedback, people. Just
you.
talk to us. We're not shy, as you can see. Talk to us.
Exactly, exactly. Anyway, we can help steer the conversation and make a better video overall. So, yeah. Anyway, enjoy the game,
We'll
and
do.
we'll see you next week.
Peace.